I am Oz, the great and powerful, and oh god, is my forehead really that big? No, guys, just me, your buddy Icarus. So I figured I'd be a little funny there for like 5 seconds before getting to the boring stuff, but good stuff. I got good news. We are now members of the Nintendo's Creators Program, which, well, that means we have permission, officially from Nintendo now, to play certain Nintendo games. So a link to the whitelist will be in the description below, as well as another link that I'll briefly mention because I already mentioned this news on the Facebook companion page for this YouTube channel. And so I'm going to put a link to that down there in the description below as well. In case, so that way in the future I may eventually just have to post news in one spot. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna finish my series on Super Metroid. Keith and I might play some Mega Man, some Mario Kart actually. Mega Man is owned by Capcom. I haven't heard back from them since I did that original roundup of sending emails out. If I don't hear back by my birthday, I'm from pretty much the majority of the people I emailed, I'm going to start a new policy regarding my email for permission where I'm only going to wait a week. Because if they haven't gotten back to me within a week, that's kind of on them. That's their thing. I understand some of these developers are big A-list companies, and not A-list isn't really... whatever, they're big companies, and they're probably drowning in fan email and hate mail from former fans, but Firefly Studios got back to me within a week. These big companies, they may be drowning in these emails, but if they're that big, if they're getting that many emails, they usually, if not always, have a person, guy, girl, child, probably not child because of child labor laws, but they have a person assigned to go through them, check for anything important, and answer them in the name of the company. And I'm not entirely sure, aside from a Make-A-Wish email, I don't know what could be more important to the company than something that has the dreaded word legal in the subject line of the email. Which I do. The subject I'm doing with his emails is legal. Okay, I should probably have one of the emails up so I can just read it straight to you rather than trying to remember what I typed. But I believe I titled it. I titled them, put the subject line of all of them, legal question, : use of content. Which use of content is another red flag that should catch their eye in these emails. Unless they really don't care. And that's why I'm thinking that about a week worth of not hearing from them is kind of implied consent for me to play their games. Because if they don't care that I'm emailing them for permission to play their games, why should they care that I am playing their games? So yeah, you may see more A-list and more AAA games out of me because I really love Mega Man, grew up on it. The classic ones suck. They're okay, they don't suck, they're just insanely difficult, and I am not that good at Mega Man. But the Mega Man X series, especially the first 3 games for the Super Nintendo, because, you know, I've got an emulator for a Super Nintendo. I had a Super Nintendo that died that I talked about in my video about piracy. And it's kind of like, why hold on to a brick? I know the legal gray area about emulators says you gotta own the console and the game, but why hold on to a brick that's taking up space? I didn't give it to somebody, I didn't sell it, it's still legally, as far as the entirety of the world concerns, mine, even if it's my junk in a landfill somewhere because I don't have the space to carry every single memory of my gaming history. Okay, I am not going to get too emotionally invested in that rant. I'm just going to try to think of what other topics I wanted to cover here. Oh yeah, systems we're able to record. We don't have the ability to record game consoles and handhelds yet. But our friend Legion Warrior is helping me. Well, he gave me a suggestion of something that I haven't heard of and can't find in search results. Because I'm not a genius about a way to record consoles, a way to record handhelds that I don't have yet. So for the time being, if I'm recording something that looks like it's on a console, or that is naturally from a console or handheld system, it's on an emulator. I've got Super NES, NES, and Game Boy Advance emulators functional. I've got a broken PS2 sitting that I actually still own this brick sitting under my desk over here, and I got an emulator for it, but it lags like crazy if I try playing anything action oriented on it. So maybe might just play some turn-based RPGs if I do PlayStation stuff or PS1 stuff. I could do PS1 stuff and I like that. I mean, I still legally own the games and the consoles, but that would be contending with Sony. Probably not so much with Sony as with the developers of the games, as long as I don't show the PlayStation startup screen that the emulator shows us. But we'll see what I can do, what I will do. Another thing I want to touch on was you guys have probably caught me in the past and will most definitely catch me in the future talking about how I hope this grows to become something that I can do full time, as opposed to just being a hobby in my spare time. That isn't because I'm lazy and just want to sit around playing video games all the time. I mean, isn't everybody deep down at heart anyway? No, that has more to do with the opportunities in this area. I live in a small tourist trap town whose population pretty much doubles or triples every summer because of the fact that we get so many people flocking here. And we have some nice scenery, we do. And we have some very expansive beaches. But beyond that, all we got is a lighthouse or two, and the fact that we live close enough to Mackinac Island that you can get Mackinac Island fudge that I hear people keep saying is amazing, that there's no other fudge in the world worth eating. Well, I haven't had other fudge, so I don't know exactly how much worse other fudge has to be for Mackinac Island fudge to be like manna from heaven. But since it's a tourist trap town, there are very limited job opportunities. There are hotels that are pretty well staffed at all times and never hiring because they only require about 4 to 8 people in their entire roster to be able to run full time. There are gas stations, which suffer the same fate as hotels when it comes to employability, where they only need a small handful of people and they're good to go forever. There's fast food, which I have yet to be fired from a fast food place, but the last 2 or 3 that I worked for, I was repeatedly under fire from management over the fact that I am not a fast person. I suffer. I'm not going to go into detail on mental disabilities, but I do have one that gets in the way of my ability to go fast and do things quickly. But it affects mostly my larger muscles, which is why you can still see me do amazing at video games. Well, maybe not amazing. I'm probably better than average, but nowhere near what one would have to call amazing. And then we've got auto shops and retail outlets. Retail's where I'm working right now, and Black Friday nearly killed me because I didn't discover this till I started working retail. I also have trouble breathing around crowds. I nearly passed out and luckily managed to get away and get a break in time to catch some breath and finish out the night. I don't know how many Black Fridays or other big sales like Black Friday someone who hyperventilates in crowds is going to survive. As for auto shops, they want to hire the big, burly, really strong guys. Because you really do need the big, burly, really strong guys to lift some of them really heavy parts. I mean, I would happily work for one. I would happily do my best and give it my all, but at the same time, I'm not sure exactly how well I'd be able to do with that because of the fact that I am of limited muscle capacity, which I will work on. I'll probably work on an exercise routine if I ever can quit my retail job and just focus on you guys full time. But so there, I spent the first half talking about Nintendo Creators Program and how we're members of it now and how we are going to be playing the crap out of Nintendo games. Okay, we're probably just going to play like a few here and there and mix them in with the indie games because we enjoy indie games too. We enjoy the current generation of games. I just don't personally enjoy the really action-heavy ones. I like for games to be player-paced when possible, which is kind of at odds with my liking of survival horror games because of the fact that a lot of survival horror games are very action heavy, and I don't like that. I like the slow, quiet suspense. I like the building of a scary atmosphere more than the roller coaster ride toward a jump scare. If that makes sense. Anyways, yeah, the first half was talking about Nintendo Creators Program, how we're going to do that. Second half, more about why you keep hearing me say I want out of retail, I want to do this full-time for you guys. It's not necessarily that I'm lazy. I'm the hardworking one in this relationship. I'm always... Don't let Kisa hear you... Don't let Kisa... Tell Kisa I said that to you guys, because she's probably not going to watch this video anyway, but... I'm always cleaning up after her and the nieces and the nephews, and I'm not afraid to do some hard work. I just have trouble with the kinds of work that are available in my area. That's the reason why I spent 2 years getting a degree in computers, hoping for an IT job. But there aren't any around here. There are not. There are none. If you guys want to know exactly where, well, not exactly, but the town that I live in and my actual name in case I do generate a fan base and some of you would like to come meet me someday, you could go ahead and join the herd of tourists that come here in the summer anyway. Just say something in the comments below. If you don't care, I won't tell. If you do care, I will actually add a comment after someone who asks, saying, hey, yeah, this is my real name, this is the town I live in, and if you want to meet sometime, well, we can talk. For now, I'm going to sign off and get ready for work. Bye, everybody.